I became depressed. I became anxious. I became suicidal, Kim. There's dysmorphia, there's dysphoria, and there's transgender. And I'm connecting with all of it. And I grabbed the word, Kim. I grabbed this identity, and it changed everything. I married because of mommy issues. Kim, I wanted that so bad.
Jessica, my gosh, we're here. You've been here for a little while, but we're actually here, able to share. And right before this, like 2 seconds ago, we just discussed that we are coming up on a 2-year friendversary, right? We're coming up to 2 years of knowing each other.
Yeah.
Us getting together and talking is not like, let's just tell all the ups. Like, it's all of it. I mean, identified as a male for how many years?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
I want to kind of hand it over to you and let you share what you want. Let people just hear who Jess Rose is.
I'm the second oldest of 5.
Okay.
And I was raised in a household with a single mother. Okay. My dad died when I was 15. When I was 10 years old, my mom had twins. At 10 and her having them. And she's a single mom. She had to go back to work. She had to go and provide for us. And she became, and she would tell us, I'm your mother and your father.
This is before your dad passed.
Oh, yes.
So you're growing up. You did not have a male figure around, a steady male figure.
Nope. I had my mom being both.
Okay. At 10 years old, you're feeling like, I got to be mom. And dad too? Like, what?
Oh, no. Mom took on that dad role. And
okay. Your mom took on dad role. You took on mom role. Let me rewind to Jess. And this is not to like open wounds. I know that we're all in a place of healing with things that have happened in our lives, happened to us, and that we've done actually. You said you were molested at, was it 12 and 13? And those were both by males.
Yeah.
I would imagine that had a pretty heavy impact on your heart, on your...
Completely. I think it had the biggest impact because already not having a male presence in my life and having this situation, these situations happen to me, you just, when people say you shut down, it's true. It just happens in your subconscious. But this had turned me completely away from men. One, men were not around. So it was
this was your kind of first experience of men.
And it solidified like, okay, well, that happened and this is why I'm going to be with women. And I grabbed on this reason on pursuing, at the time, was called bisexuality. That word was just slowly starting to come around. 2008, 2009, bisexual. Like it wasn't, there wasn't anyone in my school who was bisexual yet. Like, but it was slowly going to come around. I grew up in California.
Yeah.
And where I grew up in California, it was just, we just hadn't seen it yet.
Okay.
It hadn't been everything that it is today.
Okay.
People were what we called closeted.
Gotcha.
Right. And so bisexuality was a word that started to come around. And so I didn't have to make up my mind in that moment. I didn't have to choose this or that.
Okay.
At 16, decide to be what they called in the community a stud.
Okay.
Right. In the lesbian community. And so, or the LGBT community. So I dressed more masculine at this point. Okay. I then still had long hair and I would braid it and I'd wear hats and I would really just feed into being a macho person. Okay. I continued to play basketball and I continued to get girls. So I felt like I was a dude, like I was in this.
Interior, you felt like, okay.
Yeah. So at the same breath, I'm taking care of my siblings and I'm going to high school, coming home from basketball practice, making dinner, getting the kids, and then get them ready for bed, do my homework. I can remember being in the kitchen cooking and the table had my math book open and I'm trying to do my math homework while feeding the kids while cooking. And so I can remember.
While your mom's trying to work and provide.
Do her life and do the things that she was entertaining. And unfortunately, it led me to make these decisions by myself and feel like I was alone in this.
I was going to ask you, like, Jess, did you bring anybody into this? Did you have friends you were talking to? Did you have counselor? Like anything?
I had a few friends that like knew that I took care of the kids.
Okay.
That I had some other friends that weren't necessarily perverted. And in our friendship, I was able to like, we wanted to go to the mall. The twins were with me.
Okay.
We wanted
it was like
to
you
go
had
grab
kids.
food. Yes.
Okay.
Everyone thought they were my kids. We go to the park. Like we'd go hang out. We would do life. But I had the kids with me. Everything that I did. But this mixed with feeling like a man and feeling this route and this resentment towards things of womanhood.
Yeah.
It just suppressed that would I ever have kids? And I started to say, I would never have kids. I could never do that because I'm still identifying as a woman, but I am feeding this masculine side of me, this bigger side. I was already big. Why not be big and buff? When I'm already tall, I've already got big hands. I already got big feet. So I stopped playing with girls basketball and I started to shoot basketball with boys basketball. My hands were big enough to do that. And so it was really like, I know it sounds little, but it was really feeding that masculinity for me. Like I clearly was meant to be a boy. But as I was getting into high school, one of the things that shocked me was people changed their minds. People who were identifying as bisexual were finally dating men as a senior. And it was like,
so no longer.
What? Yeah. And so it blew my mind that people could change their mind. Like I thought you stood for what you said.
And you don't back down. Like,
I thought, everyone were bisexual or lesbian. And that's who I am. I did not know that you could change.
That was something that would even change.
People would be like open to it.
How did people treat you, Jess, like in high school when you were open and out dating women, identifying as lesbian, on the basketball team? How was your interactions with people? Were people mean?
I had a great time.
Okay. You're living it up.
I was doing all the things I was supposed to be doing. Okay. In regards to like that, like, yes, people knew I had a girlfriend. Yes. But there was multiple. I became in a negative way. Like, of course not. I became a cheater. I became a womanizer. I became
all in high school.
Oh yeah. That's where, because my attention, I was taking care of the kids and I needed to get out everything that I was thinking and I got it out with these best friends and these women. Okay. And perversion was just so heavy at the time with just perversion in relationship, whether it was kissing or actually doing more. It was stuff I shouldn't have done anyways. Should have been focusing on school. I mean, I didn't get bad grades, but I balanced basketball, grades, and women.
And being a mom and
doing all of that. But at 18, I ran.
Okay.
The day after my high school, I graduated. 6 a.m. I was on a bus to LA.
Wow.
I feel so bad now because I left my brother and sister. And I left them when they were entering high school, when they really needed me. And at the time, I needed to get away from my relationship with my mom.
Yeah. Your own hurts. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I was there for the twins. And yes, I was present. But me and my mom, we fought a lot because I wanted my mom to do better. I wanted my mom to not yell, and I wanted her to talk. I wanted her not to fight, and I wanted her to work it out with me, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But with my mom and her own testimony, she knew to just be a provider and a protector because every person has hurt her. So she was not going to allow herself to be any type of vulnerable at that time in our lives. And so we would fight. I would tell her, I could raise these kids better than you. I'm going to take them from you. And I was so mean to my mom. We've got into fights. And so I left. I chose myself. I was like, I'm 18. I moved with this girlfriend. I ended up going to a nursing school in LA. She said, oh, you should do what I'm doing. And in retrospect, I'm like, wow, I had no direction what I was doing in LA. But she was like, you're a nurturer, go do it. But I was a nurturer because of everything I had been through. So she's still seeing it even with the braids and the hat and the boy clothes. She still saw that. I left LA and finished that and came back home in 2015. And so this gets to everything in 2015. I moved back home. I still have long hair. I didn't have the courage to cut it because my mom was mad.
So you moved back in with your mom 2015.
Well, I moved back to Sacramento.
Okay.
Yes, I did not. I moved and I got an apartment. Okay. I got an apartment with
the girlfriend or
not that one, a different one, but yes, with a girlfriend.
Okay.
We came back and now I want to continue education. Me and that girlfriend, we go to a community college and we just get the foot in the door. I'm working part-time at McDonald's to afford that apartment. And I was walking everywhere. But I had started to walk and then rode a bike and then I got a car. And so I climbed up like these things. In LA though, I was in the bus all the time. I lived at that girlfriend's parents' house with her. So this was like independence of me. So from my mom to that girl's house and her mom to the point later where now I'm finally doing living. But I just felt so excited to have these things.
Yeah.
So we take these college courses and we take random classes because we're still trying to figure out what we're going to do. She's doing something completely different, but we were like, let's just start. We take a math class, we take a Native American class, and then the big one, we take a women's sexual orientation and studies class. Bold, but she said, let's take the class. I said, sure, why not? We're trying to figure out what we're going to do. In this class, they go through all different types of sexuality. They go through things I had never even heard of. And I was in the community.
Yeah.
And I still did it. And then I heard the word transgender. And at this point, I didn't hear it. I didn't Google what do you do when you feel like a boy?
When you're a female.
You know what I mean? I didn't Google. I mean, people nowadays don't give people do Google it. But at that time, that was not my turn to. I didn't look at people.
So it wasn't being talked about.
No.
Okay.
So I'm taking this class and I hear the word transgender. I turned 21 that July. Class started August, September. So I had just turned 21.
Okay.
I hear the word transgender. And they say when your mind and your body do not align, you could change that. If your mind feels like you're a boy and your body says it, there's dysmorphia, there's dysphoria, and there's transgender. And I'm connecting with all of it. I don't feel like a girl. I feel like a boy. This is all wrong. So I'm hitting dysphoria. I'm hitting dysmorphia. I don't see the body. And then transgender, that you can do something about it. So here I am at 21, feeling like I got an aha moment. I literally turn to her in class and I look and I say, I think that's me. And I grabbed the word, Kim. I grabbed this identity and it changed everything in my life. September 19th, because it was the day before the twins' birthday, I was like, I'm going to cut my hair. And I revealed it at the birthday party.
Oh, wow.
So this whole time I had long hair that was braided, longer than what I have.
Yeah.
And I had it braided and I cut it.
Wow.
I heard the word that week in class. That's Friday, Saturday. I cut it and I went to the birthday party to reveal it.
Wow.
1 month later in October, I came out to my mom that I'm transgender. She had no idea what it meant. She had to do her own research.
You just heard it.
Yeah. So I wasn't giving her no teaching, but I was like, I'm supposed to be a boy. I feel like a boy and I'm going to be Aiden. So November.
Well, you just ran right over that.
Yeah.
I feel like a boy and I'm
going to be a boy and I'm Aiden.
So you already had a name picked?
Well, once I found the word, I did have the name. While at McDonald's, while on my break, I asked everyone in here, what's a boy name? We Google, because you can find lists of baby names.
Yeah.
And we're just going down a list. This is number 10 or 12 on the list. And the next one, so it's Aiden. And then the next one, there's an L on that list. So it's Alexander was one of the few names after. And then I just said it with a British accent, Aiden Alexander. And I was like, that's it. I'm going to do it.
Wow.
As quick as I found the word was as quick as I changed.
Yeah.
October, I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to do this. November, I legally changed my name.
Okay.
December, all 2015, December, I officially started hormones.
Wow. So you learned about this word. It registered, this is me.
Yep.
And it's almost as if you've been waiting for it.
Yes.
Unknowingly, okay, finally.
No counsel, no advice, no wisdom, nothing.
Before you even got on hormones, you didn't have to go through counseling?
I had to tell someone that I felt like a boy.
And that was it?
Yeah. You have to sit with the psychologist, and then they get you to an endocrinologist once the psychologist confirms that you, at this point, I guess, I don't know what it is. I don't even know if I got technically diagnosed.
That's what I mean.
Something.
Did you just go for one visit?
Yeah.
You went for one visit?
And I told this lady that I feel like a boy.
Okay.
And she got me connected with a doctor. And it was that quick. And I saw that lady maybe once a year. I was like, yeah, I still feel like a boy.
And that was your check-ins to keep getting the hormones?
Well, the hormones regulation and all that was through the endocrinologist, but the psychologist was kind of confirming that this is still the route. Okay. And so in that process, I told her, I was like, I've always felt like a boy. I was hurt at a young age, but I really believe it. That's it. We didn't dive into why I was hurt at a young age. We didn't dive into
none of the molestation, none of the anything.
Nope. I said that's simple. At this point, though, in December of 2015, I then have to break up with my girlfriend because my girlfriend wants to be with girls.
Oh.
And I want to be a boy.
Wow.
And so she was honest with me. That was hard.
Yeah.
Because then I felt like I made this decision and now I'm on my own. But like I said, when I made the commitment to be a lesbian, I ran with it.
Yeah.
I committed to it, and I did not know you could change.
Yeah.
Nor did I want to.
Yeah.
Testosterone, Kim, felt like a rush.
Mm.
It felt like fresh. Like it felt cold go through my body. It felt like you were getting a superpower.
You were taking injections and
In
you
my
gave them to
thighs.
yourself?
And you rotate every single week, Kim.
So were you
I was
taking
on
these?
2 milliliters. So it's like this much every single week. Boom, boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom, boom.
So you're taking it weekly.
Yes.
And into your legs.
I
And
mean,
you said
every week.
when you injected yourself, it felt like, did you feel like, man, I'm becoming who I'm always was supposed to be?
Yeah, I felt like the longest thing to happen was when the facial hair came. It took so long, but my leg hair instantly changed. My body fat changed. You know, women's bodies, you get curves. For men, they get that beer belly and round. So my hips and my butt, like the shape changed. Like I started to lose.
How quickly did you start to see that? It's probably hard to remember fully. But...
Yeah. But probably within the first year.
Oh, wow.
Like it was really happening. The facial hair took 3 years to come.
Oh, wow.
And to be as thick as it was. But in that process, I had gotten like the stubble to come.
Yeah.
My voice was changing in 2018. So I am 2 years at this point on testosterone.
Okay. How's your family responding at this point?
Oh my gosh.
Like, I mean, if you don't mind me asking.
I cut out everyone who did not agree with my change. My mom struggled with my change.
Okay.
My mom struggled because she didn't understand and I didn't know how to communicate. Except for if you don't get it, like, I'm going to just go.
So if you don't just accept me for what I am,
what I'm doing,
who I am and what I'm doing, then you don't need to be a part of my life?
Yeah.
Because you don't really love me?
Yeah.
Is that what you kind of...
Well, I don't even know if I put it to love. You clearly just don't care. If this is what I'm saying, say like, my way's the way. I don't tell you about your life. So why can't you just agree with mine?
Okay.
And so I had confrontations with my mom. I had some confrontation with my, some people around me. Like I lost the type of friends that I had that just slowly faded, but it wasn't intentional. But in that same breath, Kim, I ended up finding out trans support groups, LGBT groups. I heavily got into Pride and Connections. I was in the community at this point.
So you're all in now?
At this point, yes. I am hitting on girls as a man. I am like pursuing them as a man. And, you know, changing everything. And
so no longer at all identifying as a female.
No.
Like that person is dead and gone.
Yep.
At that point to you.
But I still had my chest and I was still bind at this point. I would put these, it's called, what is the name of it? Thank you, Lord, that I forgot. But
that's okay. But you basically
and you bind it. And then you would also, they have these like really tight shirts or tank tops that you could put on that are supposed to flatten your chest.
Okay.
I had a larger chest on top of everything else that was happening.
Yeah.
And so in this phase before top surgery, but identifying as a man, I really got into oversized clothes.
Okay.
I really got into bigger jackets, bigger.
Just kind of hiding anything that would show female.
So that it would go flat.
Yeah.
I made it bigger because I didn't want, you know, any type of shape to show. And so I had to go through this process for, you know, a year and a half to make sure I was at the weight for a top surgery. The weight, because you needed to be under 250, and I think I was like 260 because this testosterone, I got big. Like I got really big. It was really surprising.
Yeah.
You get the hormones and they change you. I became depressed. I became anxious. I became suicidal, Kim. And so I find comfort in 2017, which is huge. And I forgot to mention before the surgery, in 2017 of April, I go to a friend's barbecue. And so I'm in the medical field. I'm in my career. And so I end up starting a position. I get invited to a barbecue. At this barbecue, I meet a woman. And I then, like, codependency was huge. And within weeks, Kim, 2 weeks, she lived with me. 2 months we were engaged. 6 months we were married.
Within 6 months.
Within 6 months.
And she knew you were born a female. Did you tell her right away?
Yeah. Well, you had to know with intercourse. It had to be very clear because expectations would be different. And so
but I mean, even when
honest.
you first met her and stuff, or started dating.
Oh, when I first met her, the day I met her, no, I didn't tell her.
Okay.
And she had asked our mutual friend, because our mutual friend invited everyone to this barbecue. So she was like, oh, who is that man that's so good with kids? And I was like, my friend told me, and I was like, yeah, give her my number. What's up? Let's connect. Let's get together. It felt like someone finally got me. Someone loved me. There was one person, Kim, who was there, who was supportive of my walk. You could see how codependency became so huge. Someone to just be there for me.
Yeah,
someone to that didn't judge me. There is a lot to the backstory, but I was her 5th husband, and she was 15 years older than me.
Wow.
In retrospect, again, this is all thinking about after. I married because of mommy issues. It was a woman who was guiding me and who was trying to be
loving
there for
you.
me, comforting me, whatever you need, whatever.
And you said she had children?
She had a daughter.
So you stepped into what you kind of grew up in a way, like you caretaker.
Yes. I stepped back with any type of discipline or any type of advice because I could see the conflict. Imagine how you would be. You were 16 and your mom got with a 23-year-old.
And did this young girl know that you were born a female?
Yes. There was a whole lot. 2018, I'm just focusing on my thing. January, I get my top surgery.
Surgery meaning you had the breast removed.
I went through a double mastectomy and a free nipple regraft. And in that process, Kim, I felt empowered. I felt like everything I wanted was happening. The hair was getting thicker. I mean, I didn't get to the point of healthiness with being fit, but I was planning on being big. But with my wife, she was older. She taught me how to do things. I had better credit. I had better financial situation. We had a huge house. We had 3 cars. I had my dogs. It felt like the American dream. All the songs I told you about earlier, all the movies I saw earlier, because I didn't see it in a house. I got it. Kim, I'm reaching everything. I'm in a successful part of my career. I have all the money I want, but I don't have my family. And I'm isolated with this woman. And then her and my mom fight. Because my mom doesn't agree. And now I have to choose, Kim, in 2018 between my mom and my ex-wife. But now I'm married. And so who do you choose? The one that you chose for everything, right? Your wife. And I chose her.
Wow.
And I stopped talking to my mom for 2 years, Kim. So again, I leave my mom and the twins again. After just being back, after just trying again, I had to choose. I had, right before meeting my wife in 2017, a couple months before, I had bought a house. And I bought this house across the street from my mom. So as I go through the beginning of my marriage and this trial and this rift with my ex-wife and my mom, I have to move.
Oh, gosh.
I have to move, and that's where I get the fat house and the cars. And we take everything we had right across the street to a whole different neighborhood, to a whole different part. And then I get this snobbiness because I moved to that fancy neighborhood, and I think I'm the man now, and I'm here with my wife, and we go to concerts, and we drink wine, and I'm in backyard, serious, the American dream. That's what I'm thinking. Because I reach all of that. But then it just doesn't feel enough. It just starts to not feel enough. And I start to question, why did I get married? What is happening? I start to realize I have these mommy issues. And I start to realize this because I had a suicide attempt. And in my suicide attempt, I end up taking a lot of pills. They take me to a mental hospital. So I'm sitting in my car and I swallow these pills. Someone I knew had my location. They called the cops because I was supposed to be in school at this point, and they were concerned. They called the cops.
This is while you're married. You've got this big house. You've got everything you think you want, and I'm
going to barber school at night. Yeah, I'm just filling my time at this point. I can do anything I want. I have everything I want, so now I can do anything. So I was watching barber videos all the time. So I started barber school. So I'm in barber class. And this night, I just didn't go to class, and I'm sitting at the park. I'm contemplating everything I did. I used to want a bunch of girlfriends. That feeling starts coming back of wanting more. I then am like just so overwhelmed, and I don't know what to do. And so I don't want to end my marriage, Kim. How do I break a commitment?
Right.
Not knowing God, but how do I break a commitment that I made
And
with
now
this
there's
person?
a young girl involved. I mean, just
You
a
know
lot.
what I mean? I already done chose her over my mom. Kim, what do I do?
Yeah.
Where do I go? But if I die, if I get out of this, but Kim, I don't die. I go to a mental hospital and I'm on a hold. And my wife comes and it's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm still so scared to tell her that I married her for the wrong reasons. I didn't want to hurt her nor me. But in the end, they make you go and talk to a counselor when you're in a mental hospital. I'm by myself in my own little thing because they didn't put me with the men, nor did they put me with the women. So I'm like locked in this thing. So I just keep showering and I keep sitting in the shower. I keep sitting in the shower. I could have a phone call. And on the phone call, that friend who introduced us was the girl I called. And the woman I called, she said to me, she said, maybe you're meant to be here. She didn't tell me God. She gave me hope. And I grabbed that, Kim. I said, okay, if I'm meant to be here, then I'm going to have to walk through this because I took a lot of pills, Kim, and I should not have been here. I was waiting, Kim. I was texting my wife like normal before the police came. She did not even know, like no one.
No one knew.
So to go through this, to make this decision, Kim, I'm now forced to face it in the mental hospital. And they make you talk to a therapist. So I talk to this therapist and I ask her, like, she's like, what's going on? This is when it's very clear about mommy issues. And I'm like, I have to
This is the first time this is coming up.
Hardcore, yes. Yeah. I'm having the idea. I'm having the idea like,
now you're talking about it.
Yeah, and now it's not in my head anymore. Someone's validating that I did this incorrectly. And, when you're full of pride, you made your decision. It's your way. You're
sold out.
So here's someone saying, yeah, no, there's a lot of hurt that happened with your mom. There's a lot of hurt that happened in that relationship. You want to talk about it? No. And so I was battling with sharing a little bit and bumping into a wall with myself. Yeah. Because there's so many wounds. Yeah. So I start walking towards it. It starts getting weird with my wife and I have to tell her. And I regret the words, but I told her, I see you like a mom. And I'm sure I hurt her. But I had to be honest. Yeah. I did it so wrong, Kim, but I kicked her out of our house. I kicked her out of it because you have somewhere to go. You have your family. Like, you can go to your mom's house. I still don't talk to my family. So who am I to go to? I got to keep the place, girl.
So you didn't even, when this was going on, Jess, your mom didn't know anything?
To tell my mom she was right, Kim.
No, I know. But I mean, she didn't even know you were in the hospital. She didn't. Wow. So you were literally doing it alone.
Kim. I was full of so much pride. This girl I befriended in barber school, she became my new little shorty. And I then had her as my support to then walk through the final parts of my divorce. She becomes my support. And so that attempt was in October of 2019. January comes, the end of January of 2020. I then am doing a bounce back. Okay, now I'm not dead. I'm clearly supposed to be
divorced?
here.
Are you divorced?
I'm in the process. Okay. I'm vocalizing it, so we're on our way to getting a divorce, but it was not finalized.
So you're not seeing her. You're not living together.
No. So I'm in 2020, and I'm doing my bounce back. I finally get a job again because I lost my job because I was in the mental hospital and I wasn't caring for nothing. When it consumes your mind, Kim, you can't think of anything else. Yeah. I was fixated on the fact that I made this mistake, didn't know how to fix it. What do I do? How do I get out of it? And then I'm wanting this urge to be with other women who are my age, who are my type, so to speak. Like, she was everything that wasn't my type, but she loved me like a mom. And I saw that and I couldn't hide what I saw. So then I still wanted the shorties that were like what I was into. And so that friend became that. And she became my girlfriend. And so I have this new job. I get a new job. And 2 weeks later, on February 9th, 2020, I end up being led in the salvation prayer by this boss at this company that I just started.
Okay. Tell me about that.
I'm there for 2 weeks. He doesn't know I'm trans. He doesn't know.
He thinks you're a man.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have a beard. I lost a lot of weight from being depressed. And you know what I mean? So I'm fit. I dress nice. I'm wearing suits, Kim. I got the beard. I got the short hair.
And you're dating this girl.
I'm dating this girl. I'm like starting to see this light. So he pulls up a chair and he looks at me and he's just like, no matter what you've gone through, because I'm still not talking to my mom, Kim. I'm still not talking to my family. But he says, you know that there is a God who loves you, even if you're not talking to your family.
Wow.
Kim, I wanted that so bad. What? To be loved?
Yeah.
Even when I'm not talking to them. He doesn't know fully why I'm not, but he knows I was just married and he knows that I'm, going through a process. So he's saying this and his perspective, man to man. God loves you.
Wow.
You just need to accept him in your heart. And I should have paid attention to all the Jesus signs in the room and the low Christian music, but I didn't. I said yes in this moment. And I grabbed it. And I have had a fire ever since, Kim. But because of that fire, God refines in that fire. So in that, I say yes to Jesus in February 2020. But God just takes me on this journey. The journey of everything on the surface before we get to anything trans. He worked on my pride because I wanted my way for everything. He worked on my greed because I wanted all the money. I worked all the time. He had to work on forgiveness. Oh,
so hold on, Jess. You pray this prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. But what did life look like? I mean, did you start going to church?
That was it up until May. So I was just, he invited me to his church.
Okay.
And I've only ever been to 2 that I called my home.
Yeah.
He led me to that church and I went there for a cool while. He only took me a few times and then
where was your girlfriend at this time?
She came with me.
Okay. So
I told her about Jesus.
Went. Okay.
Yep. And so we started going to church and this was a church where so mind you, I had no background, so I didn't know anything. But they dress nice. I always wear a suit. I was like, wow. They taught about financial freedom. They're talking about and mind you, I had no context. So to me, I just learned that God loves me and there's ways to change your life. Cool. Okay. Because that's where I needed to be.
Yeah, that's where you were at.
And so we're going to church.
Okay.
I end up becoming an usher.
Okay.
She ends up getting on the worship
team. And
team.
still nobody knows that you're
knows. To this day, I don't know who knows. But at that time, nobody knows.
Okay.
It's not on my Instagram. It's not on anything.
Your past life was gone. Okay.
Yep. You couldn't find anything.
So that man that prayed with you believed you were a man.
Yeah, to this day, Kim, I don't know if he ever knew.
Okay. Wow.
So I kept going to that church.
Okay.
I learned about financial freedom. But what financial freedom led me to was more freedom. And they were like, to go through this forgiveness is huge. And so this is from February to May. This is all in 2020. This is not even the second half of the year.
Yeah.
And then in that seminar, he's talking about forgiveness. And I'm driving and my mom is on my heart. I'm still not talking to her. I'm like, oh, I have to forgive. May's her birthday. It is her birthday at this point. And I'm like, what do I say? And I don't say anything on her birthday. I didn't want to ruin it for her. So I messaged her the day after her birthday. And the day after her birthday is my brother's birthday. I messaged her and I didn't know what to say. Do I come back and say, I'm sorry in text message? Do I just show up? She's going to fight me. We left very, very ugly, Kim. What do I do? So I messaged her on Facebook Messenger and I said, did you finally turn 30? Because she would always joke she was 29. I said, did you finally turn 30? Didn't know what else to do, Kim.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to come tell my mom I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to ask for forgiveness. I was learning how to give forgiveness.
Yeah. And probably receive it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was the hardest point of my life. But May of 2020 kickstarted everything. I'm still with that girlfriend and we're going about it. She's coming around now. We're going to my mom's house. Like we're going to hang out with everyone.
Oh, you started hanging out with your mom.
We
No.
just, and the siblings and just
Okay.
trying.
So
That
that's what I
wasn't
mean.
there every day,
So
just
after you sent that message, it kind of started to reconnect you guys.
slowly,
Okay.
yeah. My brother, who that birthday was, he's the one closest to me. Me and
Okay.
him have the same dad. He was hurt the most.
Mm.
And he was hurt because I pushed him away. He was also in jail. And so it was just like, it was just hard for us.
Yeah.
And we just had a rough patch because the things he did to me, and then clearly what I did to the whole entire family.
Everybody hurt. Yeah.
So me and her start coming around. We start going to parties, like the birthdays and the barbecues. And by December of 2020, I was told my divorce would be final, or like the first week of December of 2020 was supposed to be final.
Okay.
I proposed to that girl, and we have a wedding scheduled for December 4th of 2020, because now I have the Lord. So clearly I'm doing this right, Kim.
Wow.
I'm a man of faith now.
And nobody
I'm an
knows, 'cause
usher
they think-
now. Ain't
they think
nobody
you're a
correcting me,
male.
girl.
Yeah.
Ain't no one told me but the Lord. So I'm scheduled for, like, my divorce is supposed to be done. I have a presumed date. Like, so I know December 4th we're in clear to be married. Now I'm going to get married in the church. When I was first married, I was married at City Hall.
Okay.
So it was not for the Lord.
And no part of you just thought, I need to tell the pastors, or I need to talk to.
Girl, I'm going to play this thing through.
Okay.
Because why? I was meant to be.
Okay, so you're still, there's no conviction of anything about your identity.
The scripture, girl.
Okay, that's
The
what I meant.
Bible's a big old book.
Yeah.
So it's going through the layers of me.
Yeah.
It's going through the bitterness, the pride, the issues, the greed, the womanizing. I'm finally solid on one woman. I'm praying all the time. I'm leading prayer calls. I'm an usher. And so I think I'm doing this right. Now we're supposed to get married. It's on a Friday. The church is going to pay for it. They got photography scheduled. Everyone's going to help. We booked the sanctuary, everything. On Monday, Kim, God tells me I'm going to either hurt her now or I'm going to hurt her later. Meaning the girl I'm supposed to marry.
You hear the Lord say, Jessica, you're going to either hurt her now, or Jessica, you're going to.
Clear as day.
Okay.
I hear it clear as day.
And you're
Kim.
supposed to get married in a few days.
In a few days, Kim. And I have to tell her. Parts of me, little cues were like, she wasn't super excited with finding out what color she wanted for the bridesmaids.
Yeah,
I'm like, why aren't you, just little things where I'm like, I wonder if God's tugging at her heart too. But I could not wait for her to see if she would take the leap, Kim.
Yeah.
I tell her on Monday.
Okay, you tell her.
Girl, like, we got to tell the entire church. But I don't know if you remember, but 2020 was when the sickness of the world.
Yeah, COVID hits. Yeah.
It takes over a lot of things. Like, we're wearing masks at this point.
Yeah.
And so we blame it on COVID.
Okay, so you don't tell all the things, because you don't even know why you're not supposed to get married. You just know you're not supposed to get married.
Yeah, I'm like,
okay.
we can't, like, you know what I mean? So Monday happens. I tell her Monday. Tuesday, I get a letter saying that something was with the paperwork. My divorce is not going to be final now.
Wow.
Like, it was already supposed to be final, but the way that the mail worked and then getting the paperwork, there was something that needed to be signed of something or corrected.
Something wasn't done. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I knew the date because they had initially told me, right? I already signed the paperwork. Me and my ex-wife submitted everything.
Yeah.
So for it to come back and be notified, I was like, okay, whether I would have told you or not, it clearly would not have been.
But was it going to happen anyways?
You know what I mean? And so that week was one of the most intense week, and we call it off because we tell everyone because of COVID.
Okay.
We had invites, we had engagement photos, like we did the whole shebang, Kim.
Wow.
Like it was out.
No one's knowing you're
girl,
a female.
No, the scandal.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Because I'm just living this.
Yeah.
But God hadn't got to that part of my heart.
Yeah, you thought you were supposed to, you fixed what he made a mistake of.
Yes.
Is basically what I'm hearing, is how you felt. Okay.
And then I start telling people, so I feel the calling of being a pastor. It's getting solidified by everyone. We could see it. We could see the fire in your life. We could see your enthusiasm for the Lord. Like, keep pursuing. I'm like, I'm feeling like I'm called to be a pastor. They're feeding it. Yes, you are. And I'm like, yes. But because I said yes, Kim, I believe that's why everything played out the way that it is playing out to this day. Because to be a pastor, you got to be real.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be real with the Lord. And so I started working on that process, being the next step of vulnerability. And so now, though, before addressing the trans thing, for between December of 2020 and getting into 2021, like just a couple months into 2021, I start telling people, I grabbed that calling, and I start telling people on the internet that I'm trans and going to be a pastor. And now I'm preaching on the internet and on TikTok that like God will meet you even in the LGBT community. But I was getting like, as I'm preaching this, no one's commenting negative on my thing. So no one's sparking a thought or nothing like that. So,
and you don't know that that's wrong. Like, you're not thinking
not
anything's wrong. You're like,
yet.
this is good.
Because it's only been a few months. So I'm thinking, tell people, like, because clearly I'm in the LGBT community, and clearly God is here.
But your church never knew any of that.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They never found my TikTok. They never.
And you didn't feel like you needed to tell them?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Later, I could see. Clearly, that was, I was trying to protect myself, and I didn't know how they were going to respond.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now I'm on TikTok telling people, right? And then it just gets weird between me and that girl.
Okay.
And she's on the worship team.
So you didn't get married, but you're still together.
Well, we were trying to figure out what we were supposed to do. What does that mean?
What is it?
So that's why it's only a couple months into, from the end of 2020 into 2021, it's a couple months, like just rockiness. Like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm still working for the guy who led me in the salvation prayer.
Okay.
And he was like, again, part of that church. In that church, I had gotten baptized in everything.
Okay.
Like the pastor hadn't baptized in 15 years. And he's like, I want to baptize you in my backyard. He got in the water in his full suit. And he's like, I feel the Lord telling me to be the one to do it. And so he's just affirming the calling on my life. And so like me and her were baptized together right before we were supposed to get married. So we go through this whole thing. So now it's a struggle that like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
It just got weird. I'm like, we got to just break up. You're on the worship team, so you just stay. Like, you know what I mean? And in the same breath at this job, we get an assistant. And so as I'm breaking up with her, like within the weeks of like kind of just starting to stop texting like that, I start hanging out with the assistant. Me and the assistant end up in like a little bit of a pickle, like a little bit of a relationship, very inappropriate. Now I've repented for all of it. But in that, you see what I'm saying? They're never alone. I'm already replacing the next one.
The monkey
the next
grabbing this branch, letting go, grabbing the other.
And I'm holding. So no one's fully gone for the next.
Yeah.
No one's fully gone for the next. So they end up fighting.
Oh gosh.
And I feel so bad for everything that I did. But I caused them because she's like, we're done, but you're supposed to be single in this single season of your life. And here I am entertaining something.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I'm going to just leave this church. Like, I'm going to just leave this church. And this is where I come to the second church ever. I'm still working for that company. And a caregiver comes in and she heard the worship music on the low thing. And she said, have you ever heard of this church, Thrive Church? It's right down the street. And I was like, actually, it's really funny that you say that because I'm looking for a church. And so I was like, I'll go check it out. She goes, yeah, you should come this Friday. This is on like a Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh yeah, Friday. It's perfect. My church didn't have service on Friday. Let me go. It was Celebrated Recovery, Kim. It was not what I was thinking. And I walked right into this group. They're talking about struggling with meth.
Wow.
They're talking about struggling with porn. And I'm like, dang, okay, so this is a church that's real about their problems.
Wow.
And this is the beginning of the conviction. So this is 2021. April, I start going to Thrive Church. The coordinator of Celebrated Recovery, he's like, there's something different about you. That same night, there's something different about you. You got to come to church on Sunday. I need to introduce you to the pastor. I go, and ever since I've been in the same front row, over 2 seats now, but same front row. I've been there 4 years now. He led me to the pastor. And the pastor was like, nice to meet you. He could see the fire on my life. And that was the hard part, Kim.
Yeah.
Everyone confirmed seeing God.
Yeah.
No one, because they never knew the trans thing. So no one had to address the trans thing because they only could experience.
They only knew you as a male.
And
then they just spoke the love of God over you and what they saw. Okay.
And so they were encouraging me. They're like, keep coming. And then I found out on Thursdays they had young adults. So I start going on Thursday nights on young adults. It's not just a normal hangout. It's not like,
you're like learning some of the scriptures.
Sanctification and Romans 12.
Yeah,
and then I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like learning real things. Like it's not a kick it. It's like deep. And I'm hungry for this kid because I feel God. I felt I needed an answer, and God met me February 9th, 2020. Yeah. I needed hope. He gave it to me, and I ran with it, Kim.
Yeah.
And so when I say yes to this, and I say yes to this new church, and I'm going, yes to what I'm learning, I'm getting a little challenged. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I wonder if the trans thing's going to come up. Like in the back of my head, just, I wonder if God's going to make me. Like, I wonder if this is like on his radar, if he's not tripping. If he keeps showing up. I have videos on my phone of me just crying to God. Like, God, don't make me. Don't make me go be a girl, God. Because I would rather die than go be that. How do I tell everyone I was wrong? And so I struggled, Kim. What if he makes me? What if? And so I'm on my own battle, but I'm still going to young adults. And we come to about August of 2021, where I want to finally join the leadership. And I wanted like, hey, I said, Pastor, I want to join the team. They called me into a meeting a week later because this church is different. This church looks into their leaders. They looked into my social media. They saw my TikToks. And I'm like, they sit down. They say, do you know what we want to meet with you about? So the only thing that would call me into a meeting with you is that you found out that I'm trans. That you found out that I am trans. Kim, I was so like caught off guard. What do you do? Your authorities are now saying, I see you. But they tell me that's okay, that's where you're at right now. We understand that you want to be a leader, but we follow the scriptures in regards to our leadership. But keep listening to the Holy Spirit. Oh, sorry. Remain listening to the Holy Spirit. And I want to use their words because remain means I was already listening to the Holy Spirit. They didn't judge me. And my mind was taking what they're saying and interpreting that. And they're sitting here telling me this, remain open. And I'm like, there's no way they told me to just be a girl. There's no way. And this is my mind, but I'm not saying anything because what do I say? And I'm looking at these pastors and they're like, but we love you. And we want you to keep following what God has for you. They met me with love. I left that office and I sat in my car outside of the pastor's office, mad, Kim. There's no way. There's no way I have to go do this. There's no way they're telling me. And the Holy Spirit convicts me after an hour outside of the pastor's office that what did they say? They didn't say everything I was telling myself they said. They told me to remain open to the Holy Spirit, Kim.
And that they love you.
Through the hardest time of my life, they loved me, Kim. And they let me go through my process. They let me, but now I wasn't asking those hard questions by myself. I wasn't asking God, am I supposed to change by myself? I wasn't saying, how do I go be something I don't know how to be? I wasn't asking by myself. I had people praying for me finally. The real me. They were praying that I know him. They were praying that I go deeper. They were praying that the Lord continue to show himself to me. But if we didn't have that conversation in August of 2021, we would have never got to what God did in December. I'm in a prayer group. I'm back in LA visiting some friends. And as I'm at this prayer group, it's December 19th. And I just put my hands out to God. And I felt him tell me, surrender control. That meant the little girlfriends. That meant the ideas I had of myself. That meant the testosterone. So December 2021, I said, okay, God. Okay, God. So now I go through 2022, no hormones. Or the next day from that, I just was my shot day and I never did it again.
After you heard and you felt that, you didn't put another injection.
And I had the syringes for a long time. I had the syringes and the access to just do it. But what if I just did this one shot? Is it going to do anything? What if I just keep I did it. I wrestled with it and I wrestled with it, but I never did it again, Kim, because I knew that I felt and heard him for real. Like it was so clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 2022. I'm now like a chicken without a head. What do I do? Okay. I still have a beard. I have short hair. I'm still that person in the church. Like, I want more of him.
Yeah.
I'm vulnerable with God. I'm now vulnerable with my leaders. The board of the church knows and is praying for me. So I go through 2022. No one knows I'm off except for them. And I start listening some more, pressing in. I start traveling. I visit other churches like Jesus Image Church in Florida. I visit churches in LA. I start watching Stephen Furtick, Mike Todd at the time. You know, that's who I'm listening to. And I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna press in. They're talking about singleness. And I'm like, I am never even been alone. 2022. This young adults group I'm a part of, we go to a conference called Don't Awaken Love Too Early.
Oh.
And so I'm like, cool, because God, you know what I awaken. God, okay, it's February. It's held every February. And there is this group there called Changed Movement.
Come on, Ken and Elizabeth.
Kim, 2 months, no hormones, not knowing what to do, feeling like a chicken without my head, like, but you said this, like, I don't know what that looks like. The 2 months later in February, God leads me to support. They're at this conference and they're talking about sexuality in the church, Kim.
Jeez.
I have been following how long? And I had not even known that sexuality was a topic talked about in the church. Now I'm understanding how rare it is. But in that moment, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Then there's a woman, and I love you, Kathy Grace Duncan, who shared her testimony of living in a trans lifestyle and God grabbing her heart and talking to her and meeting her and encountering her and healing her and delivering her. And I'm like, oh my Lord, I am crying, I am bawling. And as I said, I've been hungry for the Lord, so I go up to the people. I'm going to go talk to you. I went and I wept because Ken, and there's a woman named Jessica, and there's a woman named Amy. And Ken Williams, I love you, Ken. If you ever hear this, I have so much esteem for you. But Ken was also the name of the person who led me in the salvation prayer. Wow. Amy was also the name of my mother. Jessica Owens. Jessica is my name. And I look at them and I say, God sent you for me. You came to this conference for me. I don't know anyone else, but you guys are the three. You did this for me. Ken gave me his book called The Journey Out, and I read that thing all of 2022, Kim. Because it is a process. I dissected his book, Kim, and I was like, it's talking about sexual trauma. It's talking about why you make the decision. It talks about attraction. But it has application at the end, and I'm like, oh my. So I actually begin to reflect. It's not that everything I heard in the beginning, I finally got to find that out because of this book. Because I actually stopped and thought, why? Why did I think I was a boy? Why did I get with women?
That question that nobody ever asked you.
No one, not even myself. Because I made the decision and I stood on it, Kim. I stood on my decision, and this is the first time I'm being challenged like that. So say, okay, God, all of 2022, Kim, was the hardest. I was off of hormones. I slowly saw when I would shave, it got thinner. My voice, my Adam's apple was slowly going down, and My weight was changing again. My depression was heightened again because it's an imbalance. Yeah. First, I'm estrogen, low testosterone, fight to get the more testosterone. And now what do? Do I get on estrogen?
Right.
Do I fill myself back with the things? But I just wait. I waited upon the Lord. I have not taken supplements. I have not replaced anything. God has given me all the estrogen I need right now. He has made my chest grow back. He has changed everything, Kim. And at the same exact date that would have been my anniversary, or maniversary as we call, I threw a It's a Girl party.
The same date.
The same date I would have been celebrating.
So you're now off of testosterone.
I am, but I'm still looking like a man. But I'm telling people, yes, you know, God meets you as LGBT, but now I'm at the point where you got to keep going, though. And I'm telling people, don't stop there, because I'm clearly getting this conviction of like
process.
Yes, it's layers.
It's not like boom,
it's
done.
layers and layers and layers. And I get a question all the time of like, well, what did they do with your pronouns? What did they do? They loved me. They respected me. But in their time with the Lord, they honored the Lord and called me Jessica in their prayer time. In their prayer time, they respected God's creation. But in front of me, to my face, they respected where I was at. Now, if my pastor did not meet me with that kind of compassion, I would have immediately been turned away, because I didn't grow up in the church to know what a standard was.
Yeah.
I had no moral compass.
Yeah.
So now I'm off of it. And I'm like, okay, Lord, have your way. So I come to that same date in 2022 and I throw It's a Girl party, but I surprise everybody because they think they're coming for something else. So I had my pastors there. I had my leaders there. I'm just like, I want to talk to y'all. Y'all know I've been off of hormones. So they're thinking it's a different type of celebration.
Yeah.
My friends come from LA. We throw this big old party at the house, Kim, and they come in and I shaved.
Wow. So you had shaved your beard?
Got makeup. Wow. I had only done it the day before and did makeup, shaved it off. If I were to show you a picture, you could still see the shadow, girl. You could still see, but it's beautiful to know how far it was for the Lord. And I said, I've been on this journey and you guys have all loved me. You have all shown me the love of God, but I'm ready. I'm ready because I tell them a month ago, God told me, October, so 2 months before that moment, God told me, mind you, I'm already off of hormones. I'm already convicted, but God tells me, because in that prayer, what do I do? When's the time? When do I shave? When do I come out? I'm asking just when, God, because I know you just told me this. So what does that look like? But in October, God tells me, Aiden is not in the book of life because I did not create him. How could I argue that, kid? How could I argue that God did not create him? Because he did it. So I struggle because I'm like, okay, in those 2 months, what do I do? Okay, to create him. Now, how do I handle this? Yes, I'm supposed to be a girl. I'm supposed to be loved. I'm supposed to be a daughter. Like, what does that even mean? So when I tell my loved ones and I tell my mom, I tell my sister because she comes, and I tell my friends, my pastors, my worship, I tell my young adults leader, I tell everyone, come to this, and I tell them, God is leading me. I am a woman. My name is Jessica. I want to go by Jess because that was my favorite nickname. I don't know what this looks like, guys. I don't know how I'm supposed to do this, but I want to shave and I want to make God happy. And they loved me. And they supported me. And Pastor said, I'll pray about it. And it was like, I feel like I should be the one to tell the church, not you, because I'm at the altar, Kim. The whole entire church, the young adults, they love me. But everyone knows Aiden. I'm at the altar. I'm taking communion. He died for my sins. And I'm believing he forgives me. And he forgave me, that it's already done. That he's on the cross because of my sins. And you take communion, you're like, this is your body that broke for me. This is your blood that you shed for me. Now, how do I tell people? What do I do? I say, Pastor, I think I need to be the one, but you pray about when. 2 weeks later, he says, I feel God saying this Sunday. And we tell the entire church on a series that says, that's not my name.
Wow.
The titles and names that the devil gives us.
Wow.
Drunk, alcoholic, drug user, prostitute, right? All these things. And transgender. And I stand before the entire church, 2 services.
Jesus.
So I do this twice. And I literally say at the beginning is, formerly known as Aiden, please have your hearts open for what God is about to do. I step back and I step forward and say, hi, my name is Jessica, and I was a hurt little girl. They wept with me, Kim. They rejoiced with me, Kim. They celebrated God. They were not scared of me. They did not hate me. They did not push me away. They did not tell me, get that freak out of here. They said, we love you, Jess. We're here for you, Jess. I said, if you slip up and call me Aiden, that's okay, because I know I'm obeying God right now by standing in front of you and declaring him my full identity back.
Wow.
In that same service, I also get water baptized.
That's Jessica.
Jessica Rose. I am a new creation in Christ, Kim. Flat chest and all, surgeries and all, off-balance hormones and all. I'm still a new creation.
Come on.
And I believed it, Kim.
Come on.
Short hair, stubble. My voice is deep on this mic at the time. And I say, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I made these decisions, but I believe he died for me.
Come on.
I believe he loves me. And I believe God has sent that church to be the church to walk with me.
Yeah.
That church to love me. That church enough to be truthful and honest with me. No one called me out, Kim.
Yeah.
My facade was enough for the other church. But God said, this is the church, because they are on biblical principles, biblical foundation.
Yeah.
They have walked me through. We had hiccups in certain moments.
It's probably new for them.
Oh, yeah. But I had to be honest with my pastor, and my pastor had to be honest with me.
Yeah.
We together, and we just texted about this yesterday, and he's like, thank you. Because I shared on Sunday, but it's just like, we've come so far, Kim.
We didn't do it alone.
I did not. So December when I come out, or January of 23 is when I come out. And just a few short months later, I meet you. And just a few months later, God gives me the best support for my walk.
Yeah.
My walk as this detransitioner, as this person walking through it. And you told me, no, I'm a daughter of a king. You said, no, you're worthy. You're beautiful. You spoke so much life into me, Kim. You said there's a group of people. We exist. Come to Texas. The irony of now. We come to Dallas, Texas. We stand in freedom, Kim.
Yeah.
Now it is a process.
Not in full freedom, but in part of it. Amen.
There's a process. And just God had met me with the support with at that time. Imagine I met you before that. It would have been too overwhelming.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you're a fake. Doesn't really happen. I would have judged. My heart wasn't ready.
No.
But in God's sanctification process with me, in our alone time, in my pressing in my prayer, and in my believing, God sent you guys to me. You, because you messaged me. You truly were sent by God to help this generation, Kim. I am one of many testimonies of people you have reached, Kim. And God uses you. God used you for us, and God's using you for more. It was the best. I came to Texas. I met more people. I met guys who left the lifestyle. I met people who weren't trans who left the lifestyle. People who were committed, men who identified as women. So I felt related to. I did not feel alone. We worshiped. We went to church. And I felt so safe. 2023 was one of the best years of my life. And it was not easy because now I'm identifying as a woman and I now have support. I go into to Texas that same year, or like a month before that. I have an old friend come back from my lifestyle back in the day. And this friend loved on me. She helped me embrace femininity. In the same breath, though, I established some codependency. Yeah. Because now what do you do when you finally realize, okay, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. Now what do I do? Because that's the transgender thing. That was not the women part of everything.
The homosexuality, yeah.
That was, now I know who I am. But why do I like girls? Yeah. And God went through this with me and that friend, full honesty, full transparency, Kim. And in this relationship and codependency that started to happen, I got to see so much of why I did do the things that I did, though. So many people hate themselves because they feel like they're backsliding. Yeah. But you're in a process if you didn't know no different.
Hearing you going to church, right, when that man Ken had you pray the prayer, bringing you in church, met you where you're at. You weren't ready. You weren't ready for all that God wants to do and wanted to do. And even now we're not ready for the fullness that he has, but he's so tender. And he's gonna take the pain. He's gonna let us experience, but he's gonna get there. That's his desire. It's like, and just hearing your story, Jess, we're friends. Like, I know you, but like, just hearing it with a fresh heart, like just the tenderness of God to move in this way that is patient, Jesus, long suffering, like, and just moving you into a place that was going to take you to a deeper level, bringing you into community that's going to love you well, not celebrate what God doesn't celebrate, but love you as Jessica well, even before you knew, and then taking you into a community that says you're not alone. You're not the only one. You're not the only one, Jess. Just as much as you say I've been a gift to you, you've been a gift to my life. To watch the Lord move in your heart, to watch him get one layer and another layer and another layer and watch you grow in to the woman that you are and that he's creating you to be. It doesn't mean all the dresses and all the stuff. Nobody telling you got to look different. Just God moving in your heart and inviting you and you trusting him. Like, there's no, I don't have words for.
I appreciate you.
What he does, Jess. God. I don't have words.
He's so good, kid.
He is.
He tells us how to love. He says being patient and kind. And he did that and sent people to do it. Yeah. I never could have imagined any of this. And he gives us more than we ask, think, or imagine. And I never, Kim coming out to a church publicly. Yeah. Are they going to kick me out? Are they going to hate me? Are they going to make me be away? I don't know how to be yet. Or they're going to force me. They loved me. They came alongside me. They prayed for me. When they tell people, go take people out to church, out to lunch, they took me out to lunch to breathe life into me, to tell me I was beautiful, both when I had the beard and when I shaved it off.
These people still took me out. People still sat with me, reminded me I was wonderfully and beautifully created, even when I look different. Because that's the church world, but the real world, they are so mean. People are not nice, Kim. But the church was so safe. And I know not everyone has a church like that, and I know it. I don't take it for granted.
We have to learn how to love.
Talk about it, Kim.
You know, what that looks like to be able to love each other in the process. That's just the word I just keep hearing, Jess, as you share, and my own life too, is just this process. And to be loved well in it means to be real with each other. You know, to be safe, to be honest. It means to love someone where they're at, trusting that God's working when we don't see it. And so that's my prayer. One is that we can receive that love and then be that, for all those who don't know who they are. They don't know how to be the girl they were born to be. They don't know how to be the boy. They don't know how to be loved by the opposite sex. They don't know, they don't know the love of God the Father. Yeah. They don't know Jesus, There's someone out there that needed to hear they're not alone, that God loves them, that he's for them and he's not against them.
Exactly.
And he's going to work through and in the process. I really believe the gospel, that Jesus died while we were still sinners. He died for us. And it's really just the question of, will you receive him?
When people are questioning if they are alone, they are not. You're not alone. God hears. God knows you. He sees you. He's going to send you support. He's going to send you love in his perfect timing. Keep pressing in, pressing the hard, pressing the easy. Just don't lose faith on the fact that he has a plan and a purpose for your life to prosper you and to not harm you. I held on to that, and I hope people out there do too, Kim. That he doesn't want to hurt us.
No.
And he never wanted me to, quote unquote, detransition. He wanted me to recognize and understand he created me in my mother's womb perfectly.
Yeah.
He knitted me together. He did that before. So I believe that that's how I was here. And I believe he's knitting my little baby in my womb before I even get there. I believe he knows them and he has a plan for them to prosper them. And that's one of the things God taught me in these recent days. There's so much to the journey, but it is so worth the journey, Kim, to follow Jesus Christ all of your days.
Yeah. Walk with him. Yeah. Jess, just what a gift you are to this world. You're a gift to my life and you're a gift to this world. And I'm so glad. I am so glad that God saw us fit to be sisters, to walk together, to go through the trials, the sufferings, the times we fall, the times we fail, the times we forget to look at Jesus. We forget that he's looking at us. You are a gift, Jessica Rose. You are a gift. I'm so excited and expectant for the plans that he has for you. Not your plans, not my plans.
Come on.
Being saved by Jesus doesn't mean always that we get married to the opposite sex and we have a big family. Amen to that. And that's one of God's ways. But I believe being saved is knowing that he's enough.
He is.
That Jesus is really enough. I'm just excited, Jess, to watch your life unfold, to be just someone cheering on what God's doing in your life and to be there for you. And so thank you for being so vulnerable, so honest. Not just in this moment here, but in your life. I've seen you. And so thank you. I think just your life itself glorifies God. And we don't do it perfectly, but he's perfect. And so thank you, Jess.